إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the first presentation of Hajj 2024 from Hajj Guidance and Planning Team from Atlanta. The Hajj and Guidance Planning Team from Atlanta is a group of professionals from different fields. We are not associated with any local or Saudi agency or any other organization, government and private. Our goal is to provide information and guidance to the best of our ability and experience on the Hajj process and the use of the Nusuk platform. We do not assume any liability, financial or otherwise. We always recommend for our users to rely on official information and support from Nusuk and Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. Our effort is purely for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Him alone. If any benefit comes out of our guidance, it's purely due to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Based on everything that we have studied so far, this is our understanding of the high-level process for the Hajj on Nusuk platform for Hajj 2024. The first step is the registration, which is basically an account creation and uploading of the document on the Nusuk website. Again, we want to re-emphasize, you should only be uploading your documents on the Hajj Nusuk website, not on any private or other websites, or not on the Android or iPhone's Nusuk app. It has to be done only on the Hajj Nusuk website, which is hajj.nusuk.sa. So once you upload all your documentation, the validation will be done by the Nusuk team. And if there are any corrections required, they are going to inform you. If the information is accepted, you will get a message of acceptance of all the information uploaded. So as we understand, after that, the Nusuk and the Ministry of Hajj, they will release the packages only for the review initially. So this will give you an opportunity to go through different packages, understand what the packages include, select some packages to accept at a later point in time. We're going to go through the tips on package selection in just a few minutes. So one other thing that we understand Ministry of Hajj is planning on using for the payment purposes, they're planning on using what's called a digital wallet, which will allow for a cleaner process of payment. Again, this is our understanding, and which digital wallet they are going to use. This will be released at a later time, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. So once the package review is completed, you would be required to set up a digital wallet. So then you would select a package. Our understanding is they are going to set a time when this package selection would start. So be prepared with your digital wallet and a set of with different packages that you would be interested in. So as soon as the package selection starts, you should select and pay for the packages. And once the package is selected and you get the package in your you get the package approved for you, then they would start the visa and visa processing and the local travel, etc. You would start basically. Then the airline tickets would be issued, and inshallah ta'ala, after that, you would be ready to go for the Hajj. So to start with, in today's presentation, we are going to cover registration and package review. In the package review, we are going to go through the tips on the package selection. Now, Brother Wasim will go through the package registration process, and after that, I'll come back and go through the tips on package selection. Brother Wasim?
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. So inshallah, we will talk today about how to register on Nusuk. So first step you're going to do is prepare documentation. So there are certain requirements. There are different documents that will be needed in order for you to complete your registration. First is your passport photo, your personal photograph, and then proof of residence depending on your citizenship and whether your residence and your citizenship countries are the same. So the format that you need for each of these is either a PNG or a JPEG file. there are different dimensions, and that's why you will need to edit your images to match these dimensions in order to be able to upload these files. So for passport, it is 800 by 400 pixels. For personal photograph, it is 200 by 200 pixels. And for proof of residence, 800 by 400 pixels. File size maximum is 1 megabytes for proof of residence and for passport. And for personal photo, it can only be up till 18 kilobytes. And when you take the passport photograph, you want to take the photograph of the main page of the passport only. That clearly shows your photograph. For personal photo, the background should be white. As per Nusuk website, it should be in formal attire, and then should be a similar photograph as to what you would use for a passport photo. For proof of residence, if needed, you would need to submit either the residence permit photograph, or if you don't have that, then employment contract or driver license, lease agreement, property ownership documents, work visa, bank statement. These are the examples given by Nusuk on their website. So most imaging software allow you to resize images. For example, if you're using Windows, you can use Paint, which is a very basic application available on all Windows machines. You can use any image editor of your choice. There are also some online image editors that you use. So in this example, we'll use Paint, which is most likely everybody should have. So you would do launch Microsoft Paint, open the file. And when you click on open, select the image you want. So you want to identify which one are you doing, if it's the passport or the personal photograph. And when you open the photograph in Paint, do note what is your current dimensions on the bottom. So before even editing, note what the exact dimensions are right now and what's the file size. If it already is within the requirements, then you're probably fine and don't need to resize. But most likely, if you have taken a photograph or if you have scanned this, you would have an image of a higher resolution and file size. So what you want to do is click on resize. And when you click on resize, it will allow you to change the pixels. So what you want to do here is select the pixel option and click on maintain aspect ratio so that it maintains the same resolution distribution. And what you want to do is, if you're doing the passport or the proof of residence, select the vertical to be 400. When you do that, it will automatically adjust the horizontal as well. And for a personal photograph, you want to set the vertical to 200. And similarly, it will automatically change your horizontal as well. When you do that and click OK, do note what's the new file size and the resolution, right? If your file size was very large to begin with, and it is still greater than 1 megabytes or greater than 18 kilobytes, you might need to resize it further. And this time, what you can do is now do it by percentage. And basically, you might have to try a couple of times. If it's a fairly large file, you can reduce it to 75%, 50%, depending on, and what you want to do is make sure the dimensions are less than the maximum allowed and the file size is also under the limits. Once you have all your documents ready, now you can start the registration process. For the registration process, you would be going to the website for Nusuk. Make sure to go to the official Nusuk website. The link will be in the description below. Make sure to check your country, right? Nusuk is not applicable for all countries. There are certain countries where Nusuk is used to this year. So to review what countries are listed here and make sure, for example, if you're from United States of America, that it's listed, or Canada or United Kingdom, make sure the country that you are from or you reside in is listed here. If it is not listed here, then the process could be different from your country, and you would have to follow the process of your local country. If you have any questions, there are some frequently asked questions answered on the registration assistance page. And the main screen, you can review different questions here. A lot of people have questions around the minimum age. Can I travel without mahram? What are the family members allowed? Things like that. So you can review each common question and the official answers into each category. Next, when you're ready to start registration, go to the start registration link on the main website. And then here you would first select the country of residence. So let's say United States of America, put in your email address. Again, put an email address that you have access to, because it does send codes to these emails in order to confirm you and let you log in. So make sure you use an email that you have access to. consent to it, subscribe if you need for updates. You will need to select the checkbox for I'm not a robot and then create an account. Once you do that, it will send a one-time code. And every time you log in, it will do this. It will send you an OTP code for verification. Go to your email address, get the code here, and then enter. If you didn't see the email, you can ask it to resend after 5 minutes. So do check your spam or junk folder. Sometimes these emails can be marked as spam, and you might not be able to see them. Next, create a password. When you do the password, make sure to match the strength requirements listed. It needs to be a minimum of 8 characters. Use lowercase, uppercase, numbers, special character. Once you do that, and then you would create an account, and then you would get a message saying your account was successfully created. Now you would be ready to upload the documents. Now these are the documents that we edited earlier. So like I said, if your country of residence and your citizenship country is the same, you might not need to upload your proof of residence. In this case, it's asking to upload the passport photograph and the personal photograph. So the edited images that you saved earlier, go ahead and upload it here and then click next. What it will then do, it will automatically verify the scan information and then pre-populate these fields, review this. Sometimes if your photograph is not clear enough, it might not get in the information, and then you might need to type it manually. So make sure to, in either case, to verify that all the information listed matches your passport. You'll go ahead and consent and confirm accuracy. And then next is you have to fill a form. So it has details like email, contact number, social status, emergency contact number, street address. Now they have 2 fields called street address and home address. No clear expectations on what how home address is different. So what we have done is we entered street address, and then here in the home address, you could enter the city. You have the zip code and the house number, and then you select the nearest embassy, which applies for your country. Put in your occupation details. For arrival, again, we're not 100% sure why they're asking right now, because you don't really have travel information, but it is going to be around the 1st of June. The first week of June is where most packages are expected to start. So you can select a date around that and then put in the approximate number of days to be about 21. If you're expecting to fly in, select by air. And then again, it asks for a flight number. Since we don't have that yet, you can put in TBD. Next form screen will ask you to fill in the background details. You will enter information about if did you have a visa before, did you have rejection, answer truthfully here, make sure to confirm the accuracy of each one of these. If you have relatives, if you do hold other nationalities, if you have traveled to other countries in the past, make sure to add all the details in there. Next is again your background details. There are some specific confirmations that they're looking for. Make sure to answer them accurately as per your situation. There is a question about vaccination. Last year, they had asked for a COVID-19 vaccination and a meningitis vaccination. So if you already have taken the vaccination, you can mention the details about you have taken COVID vaccination. Meningitis vaccination, typically you will be taking it before you travel, and you might be asked to show proof of those vaccinations when you travel. Next step is you will be asked to review all the information that you've inputted all so far. You do have an option to add a family member right now. You can also add them later, but yeah, you can do it either here or add that person separately. One thing to note is when you do add a family member together, it might be easier to pick a package that both of you want to go together on. If you register separately, you might not necessarily get the same packages. So that is one thing to consider. And if you do register together, the last year, especially if you were paying, for example, with a credit card, you had to pay the whole amount together. So there are some factors to consider whether to register together or separately. And we'll talk about that later as we get more information. Once you do this, you will get a message saying application accepted, application submitted successfully. Also, you should get an email saying that your registration was successful. So now basically you have done step 1 here with the account creation. You uploaded a document at Hajj Nusuk website. Next step will be validation by Nusuk. where Nusuk will confirm all the information. If there are any corrections needed, if the image is not clear or anything like that, they might ask you for more information. If it is accepted, it will move on to the stage where we'll be waiting for packages information to be released. And then now Brother Fareed is going to talk about some tips on how to prepare for package selection.
Thank you, Brother Wasim. To re-emphasize one thing that Brother Wasim covered, this year, just like last year, there is no upper limit on age, but there is definitely, just like last year, there is definitely a lower limit. Anybody under 12 years will not be able to travel for Hajj this year again. For Hajj 2024, the minimum age is 12 years age. So please plan your Hajj accordingly. So anybody under the age of 12 will not be allowed to go for Hajj this year again. So the Hajj selection process, as you're going to review the packages, please be very careful and take some of these things under consideration. Just a few pointers to note. Service provider is basically a Saudi agency which is responsible for the entire Hajj package. They generally do it with the help of the guides who are in most cases are part of the country specific agents. Again, the guides are totally assigned by the service provider. So when you're looking at a package, very carefully look at the departure city, departure date, and the return date, the first city you're landing, and the duration of journey. These are very critical in your selection because this is where you would be making your own plans for vacation, etc. For example, departure city. The packages have very limited cities that are available from each country. Carefully check to make sure that the city is close to where you live. The Hujjaj are responsible for any travel from your local city to the departure city. So this is why you need to look at the departure city very carefully. Last year, there were people who made the unfortunate mistake of picking packages from Los Angeles while they are living in the Northeast. So it's critical that you look at it. Now, when you're making plans to arrive at the departure city, if possible, try to arrive the night before to the departure city, just in case if there are any challenges with your local flights. Review the departure date and return date. This again will affect your vacation plans. So check this carefully. The first city, generally it's either Mecca or Medina. So if the package is leaving earlier from the Hajj time, generally the packages will take you to Medina and then to Mecca. Duration of journey, generally it's between 10 to 21 days. Again, this depends on your vacation plan, so review this carefully. Next slide, Brother Wasim. The other aspect that you need to look at is the hotel that a package includes. The proximity to Kaaba is very critical. You need to look at it. If it is before or during and Hajj, where the hotels are being assigned in the package. There are two other concepts that you need to look at from a hotel perspective. One is called the shifting or non-shifting. Shifting is basically where during the Hajj, a package might shift you from the hotel which is closer to Mecca, to Kaaba, to a hotel or apartment which is further away from Kaaba. The non-shifting is where there are no changes in accommodation during Hajj time. There are two types of camps. You've got to look at this very carefully, the Mu'assim or the Majar al-Kabsh. Mu'assim is the American and European camp, which is about 4 miles from Jamara. Okay, Majar al Kabsh, which is the VIP camp, which is much closer to Jamra and is generally on a train. There is a train facility available to Jamra as well as to Arafat and Muzdalifah. The hotel in Medina is another aspect that you need to carefully look at. If you have family members traveling with you, the proximity to sisters area is something that you should carefully evaluate. The sisters area is most of the sisters area are in the northern part of Masjid al-Nabawi. The other aspect you need to carefully evaluate is the occupancy, the hotel occupancy that each package is offering, double, triple, quad. If you if you do not look at this carefully, generally the rooms are assigned by the gender, and depending on the number of people in your group, appropriately select the occupancy. There are two types of meals that each package generally includes: full board and half board. Full board includes the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whereas the half board does not include lunch. It generally only includes the breakfast and dinner. Okay, this is basically our view, okay, of how the different packages are there. So this will only come together once they release the packages. But as we understand, based on the past experience, there are four types of packages. The one is the mashar. Mashar is generally the package which does not include airline, it does not include the hotel, or it does not include the transportation from airport to the camp area. So it includes the transportation from a collection point to the camp. And in most cases, Mashar package only includes the Mossam camp, which is the American and European camp. And based on past experiences, the cost would be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. The economy, it includes the airline, it includes the hotel, but generally it is further away from Kaaba, such as in Azizia. It does include the transportation to and from the airport, as well as the transportation to the camp. The economy, it will include the Masam, and the cost from the past experience is about $11,000 to $13,000. Again, this we will only know for certain when the packages are released. The middle tier of the package is the deluxe package, and it includes the flight, and the hotel is generally closer to the Kaaba, maybe a little bit further away, like Jabal Umar or Anjum hotels, but it is not further away like Azizia, etc. It includes the transportation from the airport, of course, and the transportation to the camp. Mostly, it'll include the Muhassam camp, and the cost based on the past experience is about $12,000 to $15,000. The top line of the package is, of course, the premium package, which includes the flight and the hotels, which is generally very close to the camp, to the Kaaba, and these are mostly in the clock tower or the Makkah hotel or Dar Tawheed, okay, which are right across from Kaaba. The camp is the VIP camp, Majar al Kabsh, which is very close to Jamara, and this is also on on the train route to Jamara, to Arafat, to Muzdalifah, and back into the camp. So this is the premium camp, and this can go from $15,000 to upwards of 20, or maybe even 21 or 22, depending on the different feature of each camp. Now, to the best of our understanding, you have to also, one other aspect that you have to very carefully look at is if it includes the sacrifice. Okay. So the days of the Hajj, it starts from the 6th or 7th when you perform the Umrah. And then on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, most of the groups will start moving towards Mina camp. And the 9th of the Dhul Hijjah is when you start departing for Arafah. And then the evening of the 9th, you would depart towards Muzdalifah. And then on 10th and 12th of Dhul Hijjah, you're back in Mina. These are the days of Tashriq. And this is when you do the Rami and Tawaf al-Ifada. We'll go through these details of these things at a later time, inshallah ta'ala. 13th of Dhul Hijjah or later, you would return back to Kaaba, to Mecca, to perform your Tawaf al-Wida before you depart Mecca. Okay, so this is the layout of Mecca. This is you again, as we went through. The closer to the Kaaba are some of the hotels, such as in the clock tower, you'll find the Swistel, Pullman, Fairman, etc. There are several hotels that are in the clock tower. Jabal Umar, again, which is just a little bit away from Kaaba, but it's still in a very close walking proximity, which are like the Hilton Suites, Conrad, Convention, or Doubletree. The Woco hotels and La Meridian, which are in the walking proximity of the clock tower, which are like maybe about half an hour, which half a mile to a mile of walking distance from the clock tower. Okay, so you see the circle at the bottom left corner. Azizia, which most of the economy packages would include. It may be a apartment or hotel such as a Holiday Inn. It's about 8 to 10 miles away. There are shuttles available. The frequency is always a question, but as you get closer to the Hajj, the shuttle starts closing down. So you need to, when you're evaluating the packages, you need to look at this very carefully where the hotel is. Again, we went over the packages. It's shifting or non-shifting. The shifting would generally during the Hajj, the packages would shift you into most of the locations, some location in Azizia. Okay, this is again another pictorial view of the hotels around Kaaba. As you can see on the left side, you see all those hotels which are in the clock tower or the Makkah tower in the middle, and then Jabal Omar, you see the blue color hotel lines. These are all the hotel lines which are just a little bit further from the Kaaba, but within about less than half a mile from Kaaba. This is the camp. This is how the camp layout is. As you can see, the Jamara on the left side, the Jamara, the VIP camp, as you can see, the one highlighted in green color, it's very close to Jamara. It's a close walking distance or a train ride. There are train facilities from VIP camp to Jamara, but also walking distance is very short. American camp, which is highlighted in the blue color on the right side, of the map. This is about 3.9 to 4 miles walk, basically. 3.9 kilometers, approximately 3 miles. It's a fairly easy walk, but it does, depending on your physical abilities, you have to take this into consideration. Okay, economy and deluxe packages are mostly placed in the Muassam camp, which is also referred as American and European camp. And there is no transportation to Jamara. Do not allow anybody to mislead you on this. There is definitely no transportation to the Jamara. It's only walking. Okay, so when you are evaluating packages, depending on what different features, this is one area you have to be very carefully assess if American camp is appropriate for you or a VIP camp. Masjid al-Nabawi, as we mentioned, the sisters area, most of the sisters area are in the northern side of Masjid al-Nabawi. There are hotels there such as Anwar al-Madina, Intercontinental Dar al-Aman, Taiba Friend, etc. are on the northern side. To the south of Masjid al-Nabawi, which is just a little bit longer walk, not as significantly long, but it's still, you have to take that into consideration. Are hotels such as the Pullman Zamzam, Marriott Marquis, or also there is Anwar al-Madina is to the south, but the Anwar al-Madina Movenpick is to the northern side of it. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we'll share our understanding of the next steps in the Hajj process for 2024 based on discussions with a few different sources. Again, this is purely our understanding. We are still waiting for Ministry of Hajj and Umrah to officially release the next steps and the process for Hajj 2024. As we have shared before, the Hajj booking process involves Ministry of Hajj to initially release package information for review only. So we can select the packages, arrange for funds, and add it to the shopping cart. Once Ministry opens up the booking, the shopping cart can be paid for and the package booked. What we understand is the packages are in two parts. There will be a land-only part and then the flight and the flight. The land only will include all arrangements within Saudi Arabia, such as hotel, transportation, camp, food, etc. This portion, as we understand, will be common to all countries supported by Nusuk. The flight portion will be based on the residence of the individual, and if available, different departure cities will be offered. Packages are generally half board, which basically means breakfast and dinner is included. And they would be non-shifting, which again means there is no need to switch hotels during the Hajj days. Packages would generally be listed as squad occupancy, that is 4 people to a room. And if available, Nusuk might offer upgrading the packages to triple and double for an additional fees. Most of the packages we understand is going to be for the Al Mosim camp, which is the American European camp. If available, if capacity is available, Nusuk platform might have an option for upgrading a package to the VIP camp, again for an additional cost. So before we move forward, I want to re-emphasize all this information we are sharing is based on our understanding. Minister of Hajj has still not released any of this information officially. Once you have selected the land only part, the package that matches your requirements and budget, add it to the card. The Nusuk platform will, at that point in time, the Nusuk platform will show the different flights available. Select the one that best fits the need and add it to the shopping cart. Once the package, flight, once the package, flight, and the total cost of the shopping cart matches the requirement, then make sure the wallet has the appropriate funds available. We expect Nusuk platform to share the detailed steps to set up the wallet. So when the booking window is opened by Nusuk, hopefully hopefully announced ahead of time, pay for the shopping cart, and the package and the flight should inshallah be booked. The next step is obtaining the visa and the air ticket, which again we expect this to be handled through the Nusuk platform itself. Our team, the guidance and planning team from Atlanta, is evaluating different packages from service providers with certain commitments to recommend and possibly be available as guides during the Hajj. This is our understanding of how the packages are going to be laid out. There would be premium, deluxe package, which is based on Jabal Umar accommodation, the standard Makkah accommodation, and then Resizing. So to look at each one of them, the premium package we believe would have hotel in the premium hotels in the clock tower, such as the Fairmont, Rotana, etc. Some of the premium hotels there. The camp would be the Al Mosim, and as we said before, depending on the availability, you might be able to upgrade the package to include the VIP camp. In Medina, it will be the 5-star hotel next to Masjid Nabi, which is just steps away from the entrance to Masjid Nabi, especially on the sister side. As usual, as we said, most of the packages will include the breakfast and dinner, and this would be non-shifting. Now, the cost here is based on some of the experience from last year and some of the indications that we have from this year. The package would start somewhere around $18,000 for the premium package. Now, the deluxe package would also have hotels in the clock tower, but this would be the second-tier hotels, such as the Swisstel, Pullman, Zamzam, etc. And the camp, again, is the same Al Mosim. The hotel in Medina would be 4 or 5-star hotel, steps away from Masjid Nabawi, but probably maybe one block away, most probably. So, and the cost again is around $16,000. Jabal Omar, these are the hotels in the Jabal Omar area, such as the Hilton Convention, Doubletree, Marriott, and it may even include the Hilton Suites, Hilton Conrad, or the Hyatt Regency. The camp is again Al Mosim. In Medina, the hotels would be like 4-star hotels close to Masjid Nabawi, maybe a block away from the entrance to the sister side, which is the north side of Masjid Nabawi. It still includes a breakfast and dinner and non-shifting. And the cost, we estimate this would be around $15,000. The standard package, which would be hotels which are about a mile away from Kaaba, still walking distance. Generally, shuttle is provided until a day or two before the start of the Hajj. The hotels such as the Voco or the La Meridian are some of the examples that you can think of. And in Medina, it would be 4-star hotel close to Masjid Nabawi, a block or two away from the perimeter of Masjid Nabawi. Breakfast and dinner included. We estimate this package to be around $12,000. In Azizia, again, this would be 4-star hotels, but in Azizia. Azizia is about 5 to 7 miles from the Kaaba. Generally, most of these hotels provide shuttle also pretty frequently, but then the frequency goes down as you start getting closer to the Hajj. The Mina camp, 4-star hotel, again close to Masjid al-Nabawi, breakfast, dinner included. The cost, we expect this to be around $10,000. Now, to understand the layout of the hotels here, this is the clock tower, which is right across from the entrance to the Kaaba. The other hotels in the clock tower is still in the clock tower, but the second tier hotels. The hotels in Jabal Umar, those are the hotels out here, the Hilton Convention, the DoubleTree, Marriott, or even it could be possibly the Hilton Suites and the Conrad and Hyatt Regency. The standard hotels, which is the Voco, etc., they are back here. They are about a mile away from the Kaaba. Azizia, of course, is much further away. Now, from our perspective, we would like to concentrate on the deluxe, Jabal Omar, and standard packages. This is what we are trying to get more details on. And once we get the information, we will share our recommendation. Again, want to reemphasize, this information that we are sharing is based on our understanding. Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has not released this information. They are still finalizing the details, especially the cost. This is purely our understanding, our estimate. So what we do request from you all is please sign up with us using the interest group link that you see here or the QR code, so that we can directly keep you informed and include in our Hajj group if you choose the package we recommend. This is the Hajj group, which would be on the ground over there. Jazakallah khair. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your Hajj, inshallah ta'ala.